Hey man, say man, this shit boy, Master Teacher DeMarco. If you new to the page, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so you can become part of the notification gang on the gang, you feel me? Also, drop a comment down there in the comment section, aka the knowledge box. You feel me? If you got any constructive criticism, any kind of input you want to put on there, drop it in the comment section, aka the knowledge box. You feel me? Also, it's insurmountable. You smash that motherfucking like button for your boy, man. Help us get through this motherfucking YouTube algorithm, man. Please smash the like button, because when you don't smash the like button or share the video, you feel me? Especially when you don't share, or especially when you don't like the video, YouTube hide the video. You know what I'm saying? They make sure it don't get seen in the get picked up in the algorithm. You feel me? They make sure that motherfuckers don't see this video. You feel me? They do, you know what I'm saying? They make sure when you, especially when you don't like the video, they make sure that it don't get seen, and I'm dropping jewels like a sunken treasure ship. So please smash that motherfucking like button for your boy. You feel me? And I'm finna dive in. You know what I'm saying? I've been speaking on the topic a lot. You know what I'm saying? Especially on my previous page. And especially, you got to like this button. This is for all the motherfucking children, women, all the people that's been motherfucking human trafficked, used for goddamn sexual exploitations. You know what I'm saying? Because all that shit is finna get brought to the motherfucking light. You know what I'm saying? All this sick shit the global elite strategy's been into is coming into the light. You feel me? Trump declassifying a lot of information. BLM matters, meaning Biden's laptops matter. You feel me? You thinking Trump just talking about people spying on his campaign? He talking about more than spying on his campaign. See, I'm still not telling you to go vote or nothing like that. Because when you vote, your scroll man is voting. When you voting, you casting a spell on yourself. But this shit is really about because you know, I tell you that the universal laws are our laws. We're governed by universal laws. That's what a government get their laws from. They put them in the third dimensional terms. And we say, as above, so below. They figure they can cover your sky, your heavens, your sun, which is a reflection of the inside of you. They can recover you up. Symbolic for covering you up. You feel me? But we say as above, so below, right? And this war's on top of the ground, right? And I say as above, so below. When you look in the sky, as above, so below. Meaning there is underground wars going on around the world globally that you don't know nothing about. These kids, these people, these women, these kids is being held hostage under underground bunkers, all of that shit around the world globally. See, yeah, they building underground mansions and underground houses because some of these people is not going to be able to endure this sun and this cosmic planetary alignment that's coming. Watch that movie 2012. It's actually talking about the year 2020, which is this year, and it's actually talking about the year 2021. You see, you just seen this massive earthquake. I'm gonna just do a video about that too. This massive earthquake that just struck over there in Turkey, if I'm not mistaken. See, it's underground wars going on, and Trump got a part of these underground wars. They're going to save these kids, these people that's been underground. Some ain't even seen light. Some of them ain't even seen daylight yet. Some of them ain't even seen daylight yet. All this shit is finna get unveiled. Cause before this shit get great, it got to get catastrophic. It got to get catastrophic. It's a reason these motherfuckers don't want you to know about Pizzagate, Obamagate, human trafficking, organ harvesting, sex trafficking, treason. Hillary's 33,000 emails deleted. Human cloning. They don't want you to know about all that. They using these kids for adrenochrome. You thinking Ellen DeGeneres? You thinking Ellen DeGeneres and that whole debacle, right? You thinking that Ellen DeGeneres whole debacle? Fix my sock. You thinking this whole Ellen DeGeneres debacle is about goddamn her being disrespectful to her workplace? No, she didn't got indicted just like Tom Hanks and a lot of these pedophilia, satanic, goddamn sick motherfuckers in Hollywood. You seen the porn person, Robert, whatever his fucking name is, goddamn Jake Paul, Logan Paul, this shit real. This shit real, and it's bigger than them puppet celebrities in Hollywood. That's what the whole Jeffrey Epstein shit was about. Them unmasking his ass to who he, because you know that's his fake name. You feel me? Them unmasking, because he got the bigger names in the book. See, it's about the bigger mother, Hillary Clinton, Obama, Joe Biden, George Soros, all these motherfuckers, Bill Gates, all these motherfuckers done been indicted. It's a global indictment going on. And it's a war as well on ground as it is underground. You see all these underground bunkers, these yes. That's where these missing kids go. It's a reason Walmart had all these kids on their wall. Missing kids on their wall. It's the reason Walmart had them missing kids on their wall, and all of a sudden, they don't put them up on the wall no more. Because somebody probably fought around and got some, you know what I'm saying, and woke up like, damn, Walmart probably got something to do with this shit. Walmart probably got a secret place in that bit where if they help somebody up in there, they'll snap it. You know what I'm saying? They probably got a secret place where they got missing motherfuckers up in that bitch. I'm telling you, this shit real. I'm telling you, this shit real, and this shit get deep. This shit get real, and this shit get deep. No motherfucking cap. All this shit, that's why you see all these riots and all this shit you see on the news that's going up. Cases going up, spiking in the COVID. All the wildfire, all the distractions, all these is distractions. Even when they go to the hip hop and the celebrities and shit, all that shit, when these motherfuckers dropping albums and shit, now they dropping the same album, they dropping deluxe albums, they dropping goddamn, a lot of people taking it back with old school. You know what I'm saying? Just like that Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, they got that song sample. They got it's songs like that going on because they, the elite, making, you see the trend? Do you see the whole Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lane is a distraction, and it's telling you that it's a distraction. It's a distraction. You know how many motherfuckers hate Tory Lane now? And it's to make him sell more records, baby, and make her sell more records. These motherfucking, this shit is the riots, the Black Lives Matter, people get, black people, I ain't gonna say black, but niggas, copper tone people of my skin color getting killed on the news, these hoaxes is distractions by these motherfucking global elite motherfuckers that's been indicted. That's where these distractions come from the global elites that's been indicted. Because you know it's a secret government. in the government. It's a deep state, the cabal, and this and inside the federal government, motherfuckers been conducting a secret investigation into a network of elite pedophiles. See, motherfuckers want Trump to answer the question. He did a while back, kind of, but motherfuckers want him to answer the question specifically. Is he really doing what these motherfucker people saying? See, you can't come out and tell your enemies your plans live. You can't come out and see it's a spiritual war going on. That's why I tell you, a lot of these YouTubers ain't diving into, because it's a spiritual war. It's a spiritual war. They ain't, a lot of them not talking about these secret indictments that going on, that Hillary, George Soros, Bill Gates, and all these other motherfuckers that's in cahoots. They causing all the catastrophic order, causing all the bullshit, so they indictments don't get unsealed, or so a lot of the indictments don't go through. I'm telling you, man, all these motherfuckers got indictments for their participation in global child sex rings. Not just your motherfucking celebrities. Not just your motherfucker. We already know about Hollywood. We talk about a global underage sex trafficking ring, human trafficking ring. Feel me? Implicating you, meaning U.S. and motherfuckers involved. This is why this shit is so crazy, and they started it off with Kobe Bryant, so everybody will be way throwed off from Pizzagate and all this shit. To keep you throwed off from even trying to get near this esoteric metaphysical knowledge, the spine, the smoke screen, the lifting the veil of this knowledge, because we in the apocalypse. You feel me? It's all about the children as well. You feel me? See, these U.S. presidents, heads of governments, top lawyers, world famous actors, and members of the English royal family, other royal family princes and kings. I'm telling you, that's why they didn't want Trump up there. Cause they know once Trump got up there, Trump gonna give all that info out on their shit. They can control them other motherfuckers. But if you know the story, if you check the videos out on the story about Trump, and I'm still telling you not to motherfucking vote. But I'm telling you, Trump is giving that information. Listen to them times when he been saying he been gave General Barr. He done gave General Barr plenty of motherfucking information to indict all these motherfuckers. Indict all the motherfuckers. Global, I'm telling you. And you see why a lot of these motherfuckers was affiliated with Jeffrey Epstein on more than one account. On his motherfucking plane and on his island. You gotta see by JFK and JFK Jr. You feel me? Hey, you better this shit is deep. Look, this shit say Epstein had a vast network. Hold on, not that one, but other people that's involved with this shit. Just to give you names, super lawyer Alan Dershowitz and the Prince of Wales' younger brother, Prince Andrew. President Bill Clinton, and as the right-wing press is fond of pointing out, they was frequent guests on Epstein jet. I'm telling you. Oh, I'm telling you, this shit real. You better do this. I'm gonna drop video as well, but you better do research on the U.S. Marshals operation results and recovery of 27 missing children in Virginia. You better go look that shit up. You tell people about human trafficking and harvesting, they turn an eye. Oh, it's not real. Oh, you think too deep. You know what I'm saying? Shut the fuck up. You feel me? You too busy getting money and still focused on so-called careers and focusing on the wrong shit of this world. You feel me? This shit is passing, like Bobby Hibby said. Shout out to Bobby Hibby, man. Shout out to motherfucker Bobby Hibby. Bobby Hibby bitch said, all this shit is over. All this shit is over, and this shit is over. You know what I'm saying? What a great time to be a motherfucker alive. You feel me? This shit is literally completely over. No cap. This shit is over. You feel me? Y'all focusing on so-called careers. You focusing on the wrong shit of this world. This shit is passing. Stop trying to hold on to the old world. Is people really numb to this shit? Understand they can't stop what's universally coming. You feel me? Listen here. You motherfuckers is beyond. This shit is beyond. It's beyond land. It's beyond this realm. The children and ancestral spirits are coming back. Vengeance in the reality of truth for you to see, and revelation is the prophecy of your soul. This not a motherfucking conspiracy. This shit been going on for thousands of years. Guess what? You better get in tune with your motherfucking soul. You ain't much time left. Oh, pardon me, y'all. Ain't much time left. Ain't much motherfucking time left. You feel me? Leave the negative shit. Leave the negative shit. You feel me? Leave the negative shit. Keep your ass on the other side. Keep that same energy beyond the flesh. Keep that same shit. Keep that same shit, man. Keep that same energy. Don't these motherfuckers say keep that. I know what they say. Keep that same energy. Don't they say keep that? You better keep that same energy. Bitch. You already know I'm gonna keep that same motherfucking energy. No diggity, no doubt.
Good afternoon. I wanted to thank you all for joining us today as we introduce a dynamic new tool to advance the Department of Homeland Security's efforts in combating human trafficking and stopping the flow of goods produced by forced labor into the United States. Thanks to the vision and leadership of Acting Secretary Wolf, the department created the Center for Countering Human Trafficking because too many lives are damaged or destroyed at the hands of these criminal networks. This center will unite the department's many diverse efforts in a coordinated fight to rid society of human trafficking and protect the integrity of legitimate businesses by ending the forced labor practices that rely on more and more trafficking victims. So far, 16 DHS components and headquarters offices are committed to supporting this effort and are sending personnel to the center. The work we'll do here together embodies the spirit of one DHS, a whole-of-department solution to a problem no one can ignore. The center will provide specialized training and increase key operational partnerships with other government agencies, private sector industry, and non-governmental organizations. By combining these collective resources, the center will serve as a central hub for victim and investigative support, data collection and analysis, as well as training and outreach for law enforcement partners in the public. Those of us in federal law enforcement know all too well that individuals and organizations seeking to exploit the most vulnerable among us are profiting off the forced labor and prostitution of their victims through physical, mental, and sexual abuse. Those who use threats of harm and deportation, false promises, economic and psychological manipulation, and cruelty are a blight on our society, and we have an obligation to prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law. Our ongoing commitment to ending these monstrous crimes is one reason the ICE and Homeland Security Investigations workforce was tapped to lead the department's combined efforts to monitor and support DHS counter-human trafficking operations across the country and globally. With this singular purpose, the Center for Countering Human Trafficking was conceived, planned, funded, and stood up within the same fiscal year. A remarkable achievement and a testament to the Acting Secretary's vision for our department and the vital work we do every day. This integrated effort will allow DHS to better investigate, interdict, and prosecute perpetrators of human trafficking crimes, identify and assist victims, and most importantly, educate local leaders on how to help prevent these monstrous crimes from infesting our communities. The center will also help raise public awareness about the issue of human trafficking and how to identify and report suspected human trafficking activity to appropriate law enforcement officials. Human trafficking is a multi-billion-dollar criminal industry, and it can take place anywhere. By combining our collective expertise and efforts in creating this center, we are working toward a safer world and protecting those vulnerable to exploitation. Thank you once again for joining us for this very important event.
Described as the largest statewide anti-human trafficking operations in Ohio's history, state and federal officials joined forces to help rescue more than 100 survivors. It's called Operation Autumn Hope, and this is footage of one of the raids in Ohio where authorities took down 177 people involved in human trafficking, including 14 individuals arrested in Mahoning County last week.
If you're using the internet to try and exploit or take advantage of underage individuals, we want it to be in the back of your head that you may be talking to one of us, and hopefully you will be talking to one of us. We're not going away. We're going to continue to do these types of stings.
109 survivors were rescued during the month of October. Greens Agency, along with nearly 60 others, joined forces for Operation Autumn Hope. U.S. Marshals were able to close 84 missing child cases, where 45 children were rescued. 4 more returned home. 16 others were located.
There's estimates that around 1 in 5 or 1 in 6 of endangered runaways, which makes up the largest portion of these missing child cases, are being trafficked. Those are astounding numbers that we must collectively combat. We must recover these children.
During a news conference today in Columbus, law enforcement agencies and social service agencies joined Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost to announce the success of the operation. Columbus made 80 arrests, and in Franklin County, 8 men who traveled to central Ohio with the intent to have sex with children were arrested. Those involved in the operation say, let this be a warning to those who are selling human beings and for those who are buying sexual services. That
the Army soldiers moves carefully through dry terrain. They've spotted something that arouses their suspicion. A dark opening covered by a hatch leads to an underworld, which is nothing like what lies above. This is an IDF training drill being conducted at a facility in southern Israel, which prepares Israeli soldiers for tunnel combat.
Hamas's use of attack tunnels has made underground warfare the #1 priority for the IDF on the Gaza front.
Most of the Israeli Army's infantry units now have to pass through one of these facilities that simulate underground warfare as part of their training.
These drills give me the information I need to know what a tunnel looks like, how to view it, how to approach it. When I encounter a tunnel opening, I know what to do, period. We approach and there's an order of action. Our expertise might not be the same as commando units, but we know what to do and we have confidence in our ability.
Both special and standard IDF combat units are required to train for this form of combat, which is unique on several levels.
What they experience here is the pressure and the feeling of being in a closed space. The eye contact, the ability to command is changed completely. You can maybe see the person right in front of you, but not more than that. If you're talking about a platoon of 50 soldiers or a squad of 15, you can understand the complexity of fighting in a place like this.
The soldier at the head of the formation carries this massive shield, a piece of equipment that recalls ancient times, but can still provide critical protection in a confined space.
The ones who engage are the first, second, and third in line. Those leading the force, the company commander. They are the ones coming into contact. They are the ones who will see the threat first and handle the situation.
Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost announced a statewide sting operation that has saved more than 100 children from the cycle of human trafficking. 2 News reporter Adam Wright is live in the newsroom to break down the new information.
The Attorney General says nearly 200 people were arrested for what he's calling modern-day slavery. The scope of this investigation may be the largest statewide anti-human trafficking operation in Ohio history.
It undoubtedly saved lives.
109 survivors rescued, dozens of agencies working together, and 177 people arrested in Operation Autumn Hope.
This has been the most successful missing child recovery operation the Marshal Service has ever been engaged in or participated in.
Victims have been connected to social service organizations, and Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost says it's a bigger problem than people may think.
It operates in the shadows. It operates in ways that aren't terribly visible if you don't know what you're looking for.
Law enforcement says it's happening in Ohio neighborhoods.
In those neighborhoods, those involved are caught in a cycle of addiction and abuse, and those that profit prey upon this vulnerable population.
The U.S. Marshal Service says missing children is an epidemic. In 2019, there were around 430,000 missing cases throughout the year. During this operation, marshals closed 84 missing child cases and physically recovered 45 children.
That's 45 children that are returned.
They know it, huh?
The bunker is about 20 feet straight ahead, but you can't see it.
Looks like he carved it right into the hillside and then covered it with logs.
Jeremiah Button cut the tops off some trees and planted others to build the underbrush around this bunker. Detective Jeff Stefanik and Deputy Matt Kecker, who was there Friday night, showed me the way in. For almost 3.5 years, Jeremiah Button lived behind this store, living off items he found in the landfill a half-mile away.
Still very organized. You can see all his food and all that.
There's the faint crackle of a radio inside. A fitting soundtrack to the oddity of finding a bunker near the Ice Age Trail in Ringgold, outfitted with everything from electricity to a water filter system.
He's got lights wired through the cabin. He's got fans that would circulate air.
A space that he was able to survive the winters, obviously, and keep himself warm. And it is stocked full of all of the items that he was able to pilfer from the Marathon County landfill.
Everything from bug spray to laptops and iPads, which he powered in a couple ways.
From those 3 car batteries, he has wires running to LED lights and radios and cooling fans, all sorts of electronic equipment.
This bike powered a makeshift generator, but if you come on out to the roof,
You have to duck and be careful. It's very tight walking up the side here.
these solar panels powered his car batteries on sunny days, and he even got the news through this makeshift TV antenna.
Something one wouldn't really expect when you find a structure like this in the woods.
To understand why Jeremiah Button was here, rewind to 2014, when he was charged with multiple sex crimes against children. Stefanik says his parents paid his $25,000 bail, which is when he started building this bunker.
He said the initial bill took him from the time he got out to the time that he disappeared.
He vanished 2 weeks before the jury trial.
He was not only surviving, but thriving.
Until Friday, August 9th, when a hunter, Thomas Nelson, walked into his bunker.
I pushed the door open, And I look inside and I can see canned foods, their little storage boxes, and I'm like, I gotta go in.
Nelson had seen Button in trips to the woods before.
There's no way you could have seen this if you didn't know there was something there.
And he had come back Friday to find out what was going on.
And then I come around the corner a little bit, and there he is, slain in his bed. I mean, I was shaking when I went in. I was shaking when I went out.
He called police and showed them the way in, and Deputy Hecker tells us what happened from there.
And we actually came to the roof of the structure you see here, and we called the suspect out to us.
There was a 20-minute standoff, after which Hecker says Button seemed almost glad to turn himself in.
Told us that he was wanted through Portage County for numerous warrants.
That's a long time to live without human contact.
The problem of modern-day slavery, because for 12 years I worked as a special agent for the U.S. government. But the U.S. government really can only go as far as I knew about the problem of modern-day slavery because for 12 years I worked as a special agent for the U.S. government. But the U.S. government really can only go as far as the jurisdiction of the United States government lets them go. Through a private organization, we could do more if we could get the resources. If I could convince people to get on board. This problem requires a worldwide response. It takes millions, billions of people to rise up and say enough is enough.
I was with SEAL Team 8 when he told me that he wanted to go private and he wanted to do these operations and he wanted my help. I was all in. To me, there's no better cause in the world than to save an innocent child.
The minute I started reaching out and we started becoming operational, it was overwhelming, the support and how fast it happened. A couple of the first people on the scene to help us were Ed Smart and of course Elizabeth Smart. And Elizabeth has been absolutely just phenomenal. She speaks for us and she speaks for the kids more importantly. We found celebrities who were already contributing to the cause. Lori Holden, for example, is an actress who was a Walking Dead and Dumb and Dumber 2. And so it was an easy ask, and for her it was an easy yes.
In the last year, we've been able to rescue about 240 children, and that's not to mention the deterrent that it's caused.
Seeing these kids after we've liberated them is a powerful experience. They are grateful. They feel the liberation, the emancipation, clapping and cheering. A lot of them were crying when they got there, and now they're clapping and cheering.
They're healthy. They were fattened up. They had smiles on their faces. They had a glow to them they didn't have before. To be a modern-day abolitionist, it means I'm someone who can help someone who can't help themselves. It means happiness. Bottom line.
Our main thing is action. We go in to the dark places and pull these kids out and shine a bright light into the ugly face of child slavery.
It is coming in late today of what authorities are now calling the longest underground tunnel ever discovered along the U.S.-Mexico border. You'll see it tonight, nearly a mile long, 70 feet down, with electricity, ventilation, even an elevator. So where did it lead? Here's ABC's Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas tonight.
Tonight you're looking inside the longest illegal underground tunnel ever discovered on the southern border. From Tijuana, Mexico to San Diego, nearly a mile long. Authorities suspect it's been used by cartels to smuggle tons of drugs into the U.S.
They'll try anything they can to get their illicit products into the United States.
About 70 feet below ground, a highly sophisticated tunnel built with an elevator, rail system, ventilation, electrical cables, and panels. Likely a multi-million-dollar construction project by drug cartels which have the resources of Fortune 500 companies. Authorities suspect that the tunnel, 5.5 feet tall by 2 feet wide, has contributed to the epidemic of overdose deaths here at home.
The tunnel discovery is another drastic reminder of how serious the drug problem is and how the cartels will take risks and expend endless amounts of
compound, and it gives you a true sense of what these children had to endure. Some of them were living cramped up inside of this RV, and we now know that it looks like some of them may have been living inside of this tunnel. It is extremely confined down there. The property owner has allowed us to mount these cameras here so we can show you what these kids faced.
Tonight, exclusive video from inside the tunnel where children's clothes and toys were found 5 feet underground. A room believed to be dug inside by children with shelves for candles and lamps, bedding, and kids' books. It's just one of the horrors that 11 children were forced to endure. No running water, babies as young as 1 year old living in the desert heat, squalor inside of a buried RV, bunk beds in a U-Haul still littered with bullets. The property owner incredulous over what investigators left behind.
There's birth certificates, there's copies of social security cards.
Around the compound, small reminders of a child's innocence. Sketches of hearts and flowers. But on the firing range, today, a disturbing discovery.
So this target right here looks like it was drawn by hand by a little child in blue marker. It's got a little girl's name on it, and then a shotgun blast to the chest and one to the head.
The parents of the 11 kids, who authorities describe as Muslim extremists, in custody today as officials continue to investigate whether the kids were being trained to carry out school shootings. Those children now in foster care and
then just to the right in these trees, just on the left side of this fence, that's where this thing is.
This is a prison cell. Only kids are being held down here.
And they brought me into the camp and showed me the underground bunker. It's basically a giant plastic container with a hole only small enough for a child to crawl in and out of. And it was angled in such a way, and it was buried underground, that a small child that was in there could not have gotten out on their own.
They're having them slide up.
There's a child's vanity and a hospital toilet. Now it looks like a child's car seat, strollers and children's toys and clothing and food packets and stuff like that. So clearly children have been kept here. All right, so with these straps. But one thing that was really disturbing was there were arm restraints, wrist restraints on 2 trees angled like this to where friends of mine that are investigators that do a lot of stuff on the border say, Craig, that's a rape tree. That looks exactly like wrist restraints for a rape tree. It doesn't look like anything else. It's clearly a disturbing and wrongful thing going on. It's inhumane. It's shocking and upsetting to
Me now, Tim Ballard. He's the founder and the CEO of Operation Underground Railroad, who specializes in stopping child trafficking. Tim is also a former special agent with the DHS. Tim, it is great. It is an honor to have you with us. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Lou.
We are hearing from the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security that the crisis on our southern border is unsustainable. The president has declared a national emergency, and a major political party has decided to avert its eyes and to pretend that this is all about politics, and particularly 2020, instead of national security and the well-being of the people, including the children that you work so hard to protect, citizens of Mexico, Central America, as well as American citizens. It is tragic. Your thoughts about where we are right now?
You know, my thoughts are this. Look, we have one of the highest demands for child sex in the United States, right here. And so traffickers, with these millions of kids that they control throughout the world, they're trying to get these kids into the United States. And I've been combating this as an undercover operator for over a decade along the southern border. I know how horrible this problem is. I've got these, I have these child victims, these survivors, who I'm taking around. They want their voices heard, and they're being ignored. You know, the concept of a wall and a barrier, this would save their lives. I mean, this would drive the traffic into the ports of entry where law enforcement can save their lives. And they feel like this is sad. It's being so politicized that these kids, their lives are in danger because we're losing potentially one of the greatest tools we have to rescue them.
Have you ever heard the president of the Chamber of Commerce or the head of the Round Table or a Wall Street CEO talk about child sex trafficking across the border?
No.
Have you ever heard one of them? Because I haven't.
I certainly have not. This is off people's radar, and it should be the most important thing. There's more children today, there's more people today in modern-day slavery than ever before in the history of the world. This is a crisis of epic proportions, and it's happening at our southern border.
And I listened to Kristen Nielsen, the Secretary of Homeland Security. You work for DHS. Say that this is unsustainable, that it's a crisis. And you know, all I could think is the president had just mentioned yesterday 30,000 women and children who are being smuggled into this country for sex trafficking, along with the 80,000 opiate deaths from the result of the resulting from the smuggling of all those drugs. All I can think of is I'm listening to the woman who is responsible for the security of that border and the agency that employs tens of thousands dedicated to protecting us from that border. I'm wondering where the hell the military is. I'm wondering where the Border Patrol is. I have to tell you, I'm wondering where the hell is all that wire that was strewn. I've heard a lot of talk about a border wall being started, and yet I'm looking at the prospect, if you take the old measure, which is 3 to 1, for every apprehension 3 get through on that border, we're talking about as many as 4 million illegal immigrants entering this country this year. What is going on?
You know, and it's even worse than that. We talked about, I
think they talking about illegal, they talking about trafficking, human trafficking, not illegal
360%
aliens.
increase in adults who are smuggling children who are not their children. These are unaccompanied minors. They're using these children as pawns because if you can bring a child, you can claim amnesty, believe it or not. And so these kids are being kidnapped, they're being taken, they don't belong to the people being smuggled. The cartels get control of them, smuggle them in, and they can turn it into a sex trafficking situation right away because they can make a lot of money. These children are so vulnerable, and it saddens me that truly it's being ignored.
Thanks for staying up late tonight. I'm Jordan James in for Kelsey Johnson. Those stories here in moments. But first, let's start with breaking news out of Jefferson County, where a 2-day sex trafficking operation has led to the arrest of 21 males who solicited sexual relations to minors and adults. Jefferson County's district attorney's office teamed up with Beaumont Police for this investigation. Charges range from misdemeanors to felonies. You can read more about this developing story on our website.
But first, the FBI and local law enforcement have arrested dozens of people as part of a child prostitution sting. Crime Beat tops 2 News at 7 o'clock. An FBI multi-agency task force has been busy in our area this week. I'm Ryan Kennedy.
I'm Ariana Bennett. Thank you for keeping it here. Yeah, 28 men have been arrested in Reno on human trafficking and child exploitation charges. Jefferson Tyler is live for us outside the station with the latest information. Jefferson?
Well, it was a busy week for the task force. 7 were arrested on Monday, 8 were arrested on Tuesday, on Wednesday, 5 were arrested, and then another 8 were arrested yesterday. Now, according to the Washoe County Sheriff's Office, all the suspects arrived at a home in South Reno intending to pay for sex acts with a minor. You can see the mugshots of those arrested. Reno and Sparks PD, the Sheriff's Office, and UNR Police helped out the FBI with this one. 22 were arrested on child endangerment and soliciting child prostitution charges. One of those caught in the net and arrested was Wolfpack football player Chris Green. He's already been suspended from the football program. 5 of the suspects are facing first-degree kidnapping charges as well. Now, the FBI paid for the week-long operation. Now, all those suspects are awaiting trial right now. 12 are already out on bail.
Being here as we mark the 20th anniversary of Trafficking Victims Protection Act. Very important. 20 years ago, this nation took a historic step to protect the victims of this form of modern-day slavery here in the United States and all around the world. My administration is 100% committed to eradicating human trafficking from the earth. An estimated 25 million people around the world today are being held captive, manipulated, and abused by human traffickers. In 2018 alone, the National Human Trafficking Hotline identified over 23,000 human trafficking victims in the United States. 65% of these victims were women. More than 1 in 5 were children. Human traffickers prey on their most vulnerable citizens and people. They're vicious, they're violent. My administration is fighting these monsters, persecuting and prosecuting them, and locking them away for a very, very long time. We've had a tremendous track record, the best track record in a long time. This order expands prevention education programs, promotes housing opportunities for survivors, and prioritizes the removal of child sexual abuse material from the internet.
States. Gone are the days of picturing you and your family huddled in a 10-by-10 square by yourselves during the apocalypse. When it all goes down and you're stuck underground, wouldn't you want to have people by your side? Well, you can have some good old neighborhood barbecues, lounge by the pool, even soak in your spa tub, 175 meters underground. Survival Condo in Kansas offers you a chance to do all those things in the midst of a zombie apocalypse, nuclear war, or stray atomic bomb. The Living Complex offers several luxury condos to choose from, ranging in price from $1.5 million for a 922 square foot condo, all the way up to $4.5 million for a 3,600 square foot penthouse. Though the penthouse is still on the top floor, don't expect any better views than anyone else in the complex. Each room is fitted with fake LED windows that project images of the outdoors. The condos all have state-of-the-art features, including luxury furniture, stainless steel kitchens, televisions, Wi-Fi, rainfall showers, and jacuzzi tubs. But that begs the question, where on earth are you getting food from? Well, Survival Condo is a real farm-to-table operation. The complex has a hydroponic farm that provides fresh fruits and vegetables, and also has several aquaculture tanks where fish are farmed. Fortunately, after your meal, Zamrazil saw such an opportunity and went for it. In 2013, he purchased a former Soviet bunker that was built in 1984, and now he's selling it for a whopping $250 million. He spent the past several years transforming the complex into a luxury doomsday destination. There's an above-ground home for all your pre-apocalypse activities, and it isn't anything to scoff at. The above-ground portion includes an expansive home with a full golf course, a helipad, tennis courts, and state-of-the-art defense.
LA County Sheriff and other law enforcement leaders just revealing details of an operation carried out last week. It was a statewide coordinated crackdown on human traffickers. The specific one-week operation resulting in more than 500 arrests. A press conference at the Hall of Justice wrapping up just now. It's about Operation Reclaim and Rebuild. Dozens of teams were involved, including the LA Regional Human Trafficking Task Force. They gave LA area examples of busts, like a 52-year-old man, for instance, who thought he was soliciting sex and meeting up with a 16-year-old boy. Along with cracking down on suspected criminals, authorities say the aim includes connecting human trafficking victims with service providers and helping them to rebuild their lives. Officials hoping to send this message to criminals.
We have a message to the traffickers. Don't do business in Los Angeles County or the state of California. We will find you and prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. To the Johns, purchasing commercial sex is illegal and adds to exploitation of those involved. And to the victims, you're the focus of this endeavor. We're here for you.
According to officials,